My first topic I want to talk about really quick before we get into some other things is that I don't like bitch ass niggas. And the reason why I want to start off with that is because
game is about helping us learn the rules of manhood. And a lot of times what happens is we don't fully believe in the rules. We don't fully believe in the information.
You cannot fear rejection.
We got to stand on business out there, meaning that the bitches ain't gonna even fuck with me if they don't think that I'm willing to go the distance behind some shit.
everybody in this room, if you had a bitch ass moment, raise your hand.
When I say I am, I want you to say a motherfucking man. I am a motherfucking man.
Like I said, y'all should have bitches. I'm amazed. It's a struggle for some of y'all.
Once you find something that you're into, it comes before everything else. And then even when you deal with a woman who's into you, she has to compete with that thing, whatever the fuck that is, right?
Stand up if you believe in fear. Stand up right now. Everybody stand the fuck up.
You know, I say bitch a lot and nigga a lot, but you know, it's with good intention and a lot of love in it and whatnot.
If I'm feeling insecure, is this really me, or did somebody teach me how to feel this way?
I am a motherfucking man.
Yo, what's good? Good. Bro, how you doing, my brother?
Chilling, man. How you feel?
Man, I'm feeling great. I'm blessed. I woke up this morning. There's a lot of people that didn't wake up.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Lou Gossett.
Yeah. Shout out to Lou Gossett. Lou Gossett, he's always one of my favorite actors. You know, Lucario said something in that joint. I heard it before, but I wasn't really listening until now.
Right.
He said, am I really insecure, or did someone teach me that? And we might have to do a separate joint talking about how monogamy as a social construct really impacted people's insecurities.
Yeah, facts.
I think it has a lot. I think you're conditioned to believe they're supposed to be a certain way, and then when they're not, it fucks with that belief. And if it fucks with that belief, it makes sense that you will feel insecure about your faith in that thing.
Exactly.
That's a whole other topic. That's a whole other motherfucking topic. So what are we talking about today? Are men more submissive than women? Yo, I want guys to understand something. I saw a Facebook joint, and it was titled that. Are men more submissive than women? And it was basically a woman. Now, the way she was articulating herself, it was a bunch of mumble jumble, like, yeah, whatever, shut up, right? But one of the things she was saying in there, she was like, she used the Target example. She was like, yeah, if I'm in Target and I have you come with me and you don't want to be there, you're kind of submitting to me. And then what you're going to do while we're in Target, you're going to go up and down every single aisle with me. And you don't really want to be there. So if you think about it, if you go somewhere where you don't want to be with your woman and you're doing it to make her happy, aren't you kind of submitting in that moment? Or at the bare minimum, you're acquiescing, which means you do something reluctantly without complaining about it.
Right.
So when we begin to break this down, we're going to answer the question today. Are men more submissive than women? I got about 4 to 5 clips. Now, some of them we've seen before, but now that I'm thinking about this dynamic, I'm looking at the clips completely different. Before we do that, my brother, Mike, you got anything you want to go ahead and promote, brother?
Oh yeah, man. As always, I got the soap popping, man. Make sure y'all get the soap, bro. Hold on, let me see. Is it gonna zoom? Is it gonna focus? There we go. Hit that QR code, order your soap. All right. We got that masculine identity, natural luxury soap, man. Appreciate y'all. And, happy Easter and all that cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you, Lacar? Sorry. What's going on with you, K-Zach?
You all look the same and shit. But anyway, no, I was actually out looking for, I got my two youngest.
Okay.
And I was gonna actually build them Easter baskets from, you know what I'm saying, just make it ourselves. So we was out this morning.
Oh.
So yeah, that's what I do. I was submitting to my children this morning.
You submitted to the youngins?
Well, I was showing them deference, and I was out this morning. So anyway, even though it wasn't their idea, it was my idea and shit. But regardless of that, yeah, I do. Like, don't tell nobody, guys. I got a soft spot and shit. No, I don't want it to fuck my reputation up. You know what I'm saying? And I can't have women thinking that I have this soft, cuddly side. I don't want them thinking that about me. So
kids love the kids.
Yeah, right. So real quick before we get into this, I just want to shout some people out because that could be anywhere else on Saturday, but you fucking with us.
Facts.
So Daniel Coberstein, shout out to you. Renee P, the incomparable Renee P. Thank you, baby girl, for being here.
Yes.
You are extraordinary, man. I appreciate you. Unique 79, appreciate you, brother. Monogamous player, what's up? Build your imagination. Dukalux, Fit and Life Entertainment. Who else we got up in there? Alicia and Wrecked. Buckeye 22, Real Mr. True TV, Jay Sean Harris, what's up, fam? I Am Fitness. It's a couple of different fitness names in here, yo. If y'all got some YouTube channels, man, let me fuck around and find out. 100% me, Crackin' Lackin', Troy Scott, June Sports, what's up, brother? Who else we got up in here? Real King, what's up? K-Son, what's up, fam? Who else? I saw some other motherfuckers up in here. William Aikman, what's up? Good. What's up, fam? What's good with you? Fasali's Combat Sports and World Events. B's coming. Dan Frank. If I missed anybody, man, don't be mad at me, man. Call me Jay, G-Dog, UK from across the pond. All right, so what are we talking about today? Are men more submissive than women? Now, before we get into that, I just want to show people something right quick so that way we can have a little visual. So we talk about submissive, ready to conform to the authority or will of others, meekly obedient or passive, right? So the synonyms for submissive are unassertive or passive, acquiescent, timid, compliant, accommodating. Now, when we talk about acquiescent or to acquiesce, that means to accept something reluctantly without protest. Accommodating, willing to fit in with someone else's wishes or needs. Let me just say this about that. If a woman is making you wait for pussy and you wait, you are most definitely willing to fit in with her wishes and needs, right? I'm just saying, right? So when we begin to break this down, a lot of you guys might be thinking to yourself, damn, am I submissive? Can I really be the submissive type and don't even know it? You just might be. So let's go ahead and do this, man. Let's go ahead and do this. Like the stream, fellas. Like the stream. So the first video, let's go ahead and introduce that. And then we're going to go back and break down what's really going on in this video.
Do you care about the way he dresses?
Yeah, but I like how he dresses. Like, ever since I met him, I've never had a problem with it. But I do care about how a man dresses. I think it's very important.
So what's okay for him to wear versus not?
Okay, at the gym, maybe like not like those like compression shirts that, you know.
Why can't he wear a compression shirt?
I mean, he can, but like, why do you have to wear that?
Why don't you like it?
I don't know. Why can't he just have that for me and not for like the whole entire gym?
Really? That's how you feel?
Yeah.
Do you care about how she dresses?
Yes.
No,
yes.
I used to. Obviously,
Yes,
I did. 100% I did. I think about it more as like it was a phase. You get over those things. Like 100% I don't anymore. Like for the past 6 months, I'll say I wouldn't. But for the first 6,
He's got it better,
yeah, 100%.
What were some of the things that would happen?
I mean, he would get upset. He would tell me like, no, why are you gonna wear that? But I never felt like I had to change.
But if you feel like a compression shirt's too much for him, why can't he feel like whatever you were wearing was too much?
That is true. But I'm a woman.
Which would make it even worse, don't you think?
No, women are supposed to dress. Like, it's just normal.
But can't you be classy without being provocative?
Yes, of course. That's not what I'm saying. But if I want to wear something that's considered provocative, it's like the common thing for women, I feel.
Do you care about the?
All right. Hold on, let me bring the homie in. I want y'all to think about something. In that relationship, who do you think is the submissive one? And shout out to Lucario, because I hear him say this time and time again. Somebody has to submit.
Somebody. Facts.
Somebody has to, right? Go ahead, Miles. Go ahead. I know you want to say something.
Oh no, I was just saying he definitely is the one. Because you asked a question. I thought you were asking a question. I didn't realize you was being rhetorical. Yeah.
Okay. No. So what I want guys to understand, he's in a relationship with a woman where she do what she want to do, right? And he basically do what she says. So even though he has an issue, now the whole thing with a woman dressing a certain way, that's a whole nother thing. I'm not tripping on that. I don't give a fuck about how she's dressing. The thing is they get into a relationship. He wants to establish boundaries and parameters. She says, fuck your boundaries and parameters, right? And then she goes out and sets boundaries and parameters, and he submits boundaries.
Right.
And a lot of guys, they might not submit in this manner, but a lot of guys do this. And the reason why they do it is because they want to be in a relationship with the woman so bad, they will capitulate, they will acquiesce, they will accommodate. And it's reluctantly so. They feel some type of way, but then they convince themselves it really ain't that bad because I have her and I have her love. Yeah, I guess I want to add to that before we continue.
You got it, Jay.
I can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I had some technical difficulties before hopping on. My camera just went out, so hopefully the camera on the computer is okay. But I didn't see the whole thing. Did he discuss with him if he likes the way she's dressed?
Let's play it back so you can see the whole thing.
All right.
The way he dresses?
Yeah, but I like how he dresses. Like ever since I met him, I've never had a problem with it. But I do care about how a man dresses. I think it's very important.
So what's okay for him to wear versus not?
Okay, at the gym, maybe not like those compression shirts that
Why can't he wear a compression shirt?
I mean, he can, but why do you have to wear that?
Why don't you like it?
I don't know. Why can't he just have that for me and not for the whole entire gym?
Really? That's how you feel?
Yeah.
Do you care about how she dresses?
Yes.
No, I used to. Obviously,
Yes,
I did. 100% I did. I think about it more as it was a phase.
Yeah.
You get over those things. 100% I don't anymore. For the past 6 months, I'd say I wouldn't. But for the first 6,
you got it better.
Yeah, 100%.
What were?
Look, go ahead, Jay Roman. Because now that I'm listening to it again, I'm getting irritated. But go ahead, Phil. Go ahead.
No, I see where we're at, and yeah, it's exactly kind of how you were putting it. Basically, she wore him down. She basically said, "I'm not going to dress the way you want me to, but however, I want you to dress the way I want you to." And so, like Miles was saying, somebody has to submit, and right now it looks like he's the one that's submitting, and it looks like he's comfortable with it too, because he's like, yeah, the first 6 months I was really on it, but the last 6 months I'm not on it really, and really that's not how he really wants to be. Right. It's just that she's worn him down to submission.
Right. Exactly. I mean, he don't want to lose her, He's in a space where he looking like he don't want to lose her, And another thing I would say is this. With the way that I conduct my relationships, I really don't see myself even stopping for a street interview, nigga.
Yeah.
You understand? And let's just say we do get into a situation like that, my girl is not doing that much talking, bruh. She's leading the fucking charge and he's just chilling. And I'm like, I don't understand what that even looks like. I don't understand what that looks like, because even when we at the restaurant, bro, let me tell y'all something. That I noticed. Some of these fucking, I'll be at the restaurant. And tell me if y'all notice this. Do you notice when your fucking waitress is a feminist? Any of you notice that shit? When you order for your woman, you order for your fucking woman, and then they make it a point to go and like turn away from you to ask your girl like, oh, well, how do you want the steak? Or are you sure? Would you like, but I had a situation where I described everything to a T that my girl wanted after discussing with her, of course. And the fucking waitress turned to my lady and was like, are you sure? Okay, but that's probably a whole nother thing. I'm sorry. Let's get back.
No, it's happened to me before, and she, turned to me. It was like, like she looked at me, and I ordered for everything for everybody, all the way on down.
I've had a situation where my lady's like, yeah, what he said,
and what it is some women, feminists, and let me just say this about feminists. I don't give a damn about feminists in a sense that they can believe what they want to believe in as long as it don't bleed into my life. Now, so you have some feminists, they don't like the idea of seeing a woman submissive to a man. They got a problem with that shit.
Hate that shit, bro.
And my thing is, but she's happy and you're miserable, bitch. That's the difference between you and her.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But the reason I bring that up to say that there are situations where when strangers come through, your lady should know who should do most of the talking, though. You understand? And it's certain little things like that shows you who is the fucking leader of the relationship. Why is she talking so much? Why is she even standing next to this man? You know what I'm saying? Why is it the man, the girl, then her actual man? It's supposed to be the nigga with the microphone, the man, and then she's supposed to be to the side, slightly behind her man. That's what it's supposed to be.
When I first popped in, that's the first thought that came to my head.
Exactly.
I was wondering, when was he going to step in and be like, all right, man, that's enough of the silliness. You know what I'm saying? Like I was wondering when he was going to step in and just be like, nah, I ain't really concerned about it. She cool. And then roll. But, I caught the end piece. So, but it's kind of shocking. And then on top of that, he stepped away from her a little bit too. To give her own independence. He's scared. Which is kind of like, hey, you should be next to me. When I step, you should step.
Hey, real quick, because someone is asking, can you call it? Yes, y'all can call in a minute. Let us, you know what I'm saying, quarterback this thing and let it marinate for a moment.
Right.
Real quick, before we get into the next joints, there is a common theme. And both of y'all alluded to it with the first one. Who's the most dominant person in the situation? You can tell who has the most dominant personality. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if any woman you're dealing with has the more dominating personality than you, she's going to be leading you. Okay? I promise you. Now, she might give you the impression that you're kind of doing your thing as the man, because women are taught, well, they used to be taught, I don't know if they are now, but they are taught, hey, stroke a man's ego to make him feel like he running shit. But really, the woman is running shit the whole time, because they understand how fragile a lot of men's egos are when it comes to that type of shit. But let's jump to the next one. Hey, we're gonna take calls in a moment. Just let us get our shit off. Just pay attention, guys, to the dominant person.
When you guys go out, who pays for the dates?
Mostly him.
Always him. But
when do you pay?
Groceries.
When it's really important, necessities, sometimes.
Like?
Groceries and the electric bill. The electric bill.
So you cover the electric bill for sure.
Yeah, I do.
$60, $70.
Don't lie. It's 100 plus. It's 100 plus. He's a capper.
Like he covers everything else?
Yeah.
Okay. So if he's covering 90% of the bills, what else do you bring to the table?
I'm sorry. I just want to say something. Because she said capper, but it's really a liar. If your woman is calling you a liar in public like that, that's some disrespectful shit. A lot of people might not look at it that way, but there are certain times when your woman is in public, even when she feels a certain way, she should not display this attitude towards something you say. If you guys need to have a conversation in private, cool. But that right there, because she might as well say, you're a liar. If your woman says that shit to you in public, I'm just saying. I'm sorry, I had to say that shit.
And I agree with you, Zach, but it should be both ways because you should be setting the example.
Yeah.
Say that again, J. Roman. Say that one more time.
No, I said I agree with you 100% on that, Mal. I mean, Zach, and it should be both ways because you should be setting the example, right? So if she's sitting there talking like she is, you know, I ain't got to pop off and correct her or anything like that. When we walk back to the car, be like, hey, you know, this is when I'm gonna tell you what's what, you know, because I want you to set the same example when we out in public. Now, if it's detrimental that I need to correct you, then I will. But at the same time, you know, we'll have our discussions in private. You know,
exactly.
We used to call it "Don't front me off in public."
Exactly. That's what we used to call it. Facts. And I'll say this: just look at the way this nigga's standing. Look at the way he's. Yeah, look at the way. Look at he's kind of like he's hiding his hands and shit, like a little boy. Like the nigga.
He seems excited to have this conversation. Like he been telling her for a minute. You know, you don't appreciate me. See.
And look at her hand on her hips. Like she's indifferent how he's feeling. Like, nigga, I don't give a fuck how you feel and what you say in this interview. You paying them bills, nigga.
Yeah,
exactly. All that shit you want to say, you know who run this. Look at her body language.
Mother. She is his mother, bro. She's like his mother. That looked like a mother and son standing there. You hear me? Like, that shit is weird, man. These niggas is weird. These niggas is... Look, shout out to K-Zag when he be like, ladies, this is why y'all got to share us.
So, again, what's the title? Let me plug it. Are men more submissive than women? And I just want to say this. These are not exceptions. These video clips you're seeing, they are not exceptions at all, right? I believe that the majority of guys have something going on along the lines of what you're going to see with these guys, where the guys, they feel some type of way about what's going on in a relationship, but they're putting up with it reluctantly because, like Miles said, they don't want to lose the woman. They don't want to lose access to the chick. And oftentimes, it's usually two things: sex and the fact that they think she's bad or cute. It's typically one of those two things, which is why they're even putting up with it, because they feel like, man, I might not be able to get a chick as cute as her. You know, I might not be able to, you know, if she leave me, it might take me months, maybe even longer to find another chick that looks cute, that want to have sex with me on a regular basis. I really think shit like that be going through these guys' minds and shit. Let's finish this. Go ahead, Miles, my bad.
No, I'm just saying they do. I was just agreeing with you.
Love and genuine loyalty, and it's not all about money.
You consider you guys a traditional couple?
Been together for 3 years. We met naturally. I don't see why not.
But the question is, if the roles were reversed, do you think that this relationship would last?
If roles were reversed, that's a good question. I'll have to think about it.
That's how you know she is not submissive to him. Because even if you're the woman and you're the breadwinner and you got a man and he's still an authoritative, dominant, assertive man, he's still going to run a household. She's basically saying, oh, if I had to pay more of the bills than what I'm paying now, ain't no way. And he did this because he knows she wouldn't be there. So I just want to say this, guys. If you're dealing with a woman and you're paying most or all of the bills, and you know if something happened to your money and she wouldn't do it for you, why are you there? Why are you in that relationship if she wouldn't hold it down, or if you gave her a directive to do something, she wouldn't do it?
Right.
Why the fuck are you even there? That's how you know she is not submissive to him. Not at all. He's submissive to her, rather. All right. Y'all got anything y'all want to add to that before we come to the next one?
Nah, we get to the next one.
No, I'm good on that one.
All right, cool. Let's get it. Wait, hold on. My bad.
Kind of a long time. We met in college, but like 3 years total.
Oh yeah, we've seen this one.
Years, but we've known each other for 11 years.
Yeah.
11 years.
So
in the friend zone.
you were in the friend zone.
was in the zone. I thought I was gonna cut.
I mean, I think the attraction's always there, but if you're like prioritizing the friendship, it's a little bit different. But I think after we graduated and then like moved to the same city, so that was a couple years ago.
Was there ever a point where she was talking to you about the guys that she was sleeping with, or?
No, never that. It was just more so we were always just best friends and never know if
Honestly,
it was gonna work out.
I feel like in college we would like share all that stuff together.
She called him a liar, basically. She's like, yeah, we did talk about that. He said, no, we didn't. She said, yes, we did. I did tell you about all the guys I was dating. First of all, if you are a guy in the friend zone, you automatically submitted to her. And you're waiting for her to tell you it's okay. Now that I ran through all the guys that broke my heart and all of that, you know what? I'll take you now. You know what I'm saying? So just being in a friend zone, in my opinion, is some subservient shit. Because you really don't want to be her friend. You want to be her lover or her romantic partner, but you're settling for the role that she gives you because you're so desperate to have her.
Right. Nah, a lot of these dudes, man, they don't know their value, and that's just how they roll. Like, they're afraid to lose a chick. That's how they behave. They let the chick have her way because they figure as long, happy wife, happy life type shit. These are the guys. These are the guys. But see, the sad part is, in case you haven't realized, in none of these videos, these women don't even have the body language of a woman that likes the man they standing next to.
Facts.
Especially this one.
Especially,
look at the way he's dressed. Look at how she's dressed. So
right.
They was coming from a spot that might have been pretty nice. And I'm not saying that all dudes know how to dress. I'm one of the people that really don't care about name brands and tags, and that's not my thing. But I'll go somewhere dressed nice, for the occasion. If you cared about me, my woman, who is going to be good at getting dressed, because that's what I like, is going to help me out. She's going to take care of me, so I look stunning walking out the door, right? Because if I don't have that in-depth ability, because some cats are just better at they just put together a fit. I'm gonna wear this with the shoes. Some cats don't got that bug. If I ain't the one that got it, and I'm with you, and you walking out like that, you should help me out because you don't want me to look crazy, And that to me is showing a little bit of care, not for herself, because she said, "Oh, I'm dressed fresh. I'm out." And she looked at him and was like, okay, come on. So now people were kind of like, are y'all together? Y'all
right?
Y'all friends? Y'all, what's going on? And there's some cultures I just love the way they dress, man. I'll see the lady dress with a certain color, and the guy will have that same color in his fit. Not the same matching fit, but the color.
Yeah,
hey, we together right here. We're matching this color together. And I ain't saying you got to do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? But that's showing somebody like, hey, we are rocking, and I don't see that here at all.
There's synergy between us. There's no synergy. A lot of these people, there's no synergy. The guy likes the woman more than a woman likes him. And a woman is like, you know what? There's other guys I'm more attracted to than you, but you're the guy that's going to let me run shit. So I choose you.
Yeah, she dressed to get somebody and not dressed to be with him. Because you're going to match what I'm dressing. Because if I'm dressed like that, you're going to be dressed like that too.
Right.
We rocking together.
All right, so I got another one for y'all. This one was hilarious right here. Hold on, let me get this. Hold on. Okay.
What's your biggest pet peeve when it comes on to texting?
If I don't text her back fast enough, she will say, "Who are you texting?" And that's my pet peeve because I'm fucking doing something that I'm busy with. So
I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm number one priority. Period. Point blank.
But she also wants me to pay for everything. So
you're his number one priority, or you believe you should be. What number priority is she actually in reality?
Two.
She's in the top three. She's in the top three. She's at least three? No, you're in the top. What do you mean? Bitch. You said two. That's in the fucking middle of 1, 2, and 3.
So I would be 3?
I got a mom.
Yeah, mom is 1. That's fine.
Yeah, mom is 1.
Until marriage, which is appropriate.
I'm not married yet.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
That's
so
fine,
maybe
but why
my-
would you say
maybe
top
my-
3? I'm number 2.
Okay, she's number 2.
Period.
Oh, do you see his look at the end where he was like,
Yo,
Hey,
he's
I'm gonna let y'all go first so I can refresh my screen.
He's acquiescing, man. He definitely gave up. And let's notice the body language, and let's notice the tone and volume. She basically was arguing with the nigga disrespectfully. Let's be clear. He was disrespecting this dude, raising her voice to this dude in front of another man. That's not cool, bro. Like, these cats don't understand with that. This type of shit ain't cool. A woman ain't supposed to be raising her voice I mean, look, if y'all in the house private and whatever, maybe y'all going through something that's bad, but not so bad because that's private. But we in a situation with another dude and you raising your voice, disrespecting and then, you know, answering for me too. Like, how disrespectful can a bitch get? Answering for the nigga. Telling him what's what, like, oh, well, if you respect your mind, that's okay. That's not so bad. And it could be like that until marriage. You assuming way too much, bitch. As if I'm gonna marry you. As if you deserve that fucking privilege to be my wife. Like, what's wrong with you? Then you raising your voice. Then you acting all out of bounds and shit. What's going? And this nigga just standing there acquiescing to this shit, man. What's wrong with y'all niggas? Like, pussy's good, but come on, bro. It ain't that good.
I just want to point out, are men more submissive than women? Let me also point this out. When we get the calls on the Real Game No Theory podcast, and we've also had them on this joint as well. Miles, how many callers have we had where guys will say, my woman cursed me out, or my woman called me a bitch, or my woman do this and that, and dudes are still with them? So when I tell you guys, these are not isolated incidents, right? Most guys are in situations like this. Some of y'all listening right now, this might be y'all. Y'all might not admit it, but y'all got it. Jay Roman, you got something you want to add to it, Phil?
yeah, I just think a lot of cats would probably say, what do I do in that situation? Right?
609, hold on real quick. We'll get you in a second.
Yeah, and I'll make this quick because I know we got a caller. But they will say, what do I do in that situation, right? Because you could tell he was sitting there, he didn't like what was going on. Because at the end of it, he gave the dude a little eye, like this, like, see what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But what do I do in that situation? You know, how do I act? And if you got to tell yourself that means you have no plan to begin with in the first place. Because you should already have a plan for any situation that happens like that. Like, hey, all right, you know, I'll talk about it later. Like, it would have been better for him just to walk away. Be like, you know what? To walk away. She catch up to him and be like, what's happened? Don't you ever, for the betterment of this relationship, if you want this relationship, do that ever again. Like, to me, I understand maybe he didn't want to scream at her, or maybe he didn't want to do that all right there in front of the camera. But it looked like he had no plan. Like, when they was going to walk away, she was going to continue that argument, and he was just going to go like this. Like, believe what you want to believe. I believe what I believe.
Right.
Believe what you want to believe. And yeah, you got your own thing that you believe. You said it, you know, hey, you're top 3. You're not top 2. And I don't think she's even top 5 for him. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he was standing there, like, let me sound good. You're top 3. But like you said, silence is also submissiveness too. Silence is acquiescing to whatever power that's in front of you because you're not saying what you really want to say and end it like that.
Right.
We still got the call?
Yeah, we still got to go. 609. You're on live with the Manhood is the Skill Set show. We got K Zag and J Roman and Miles, name, age, city. How can we help you?
What's up, y'all? Rudy, 22, Jersey. What's up, K Zag and Miles, J Roman? How y'all doing?
What's up,
All right.
Oh, okay. So I just wanted to make a comment on the topic real quick. Shout out to you, K Zaggy. You always talk about only deal with women on your terms. And for the longest time, it took me a while to understand that, like, why you always say that, right? But the more I dealt with women, it made me understand, because what I noticed in my life, every single time I dealt with a woman on her terms, you know, a woman that was uncooperative, and I would end up having sex with the woman, I will always feel like shit, and I will always feel like crap afterwards. Because it's like, damn, It's like when niggas sell they soul for money in Hollywood. I just sold my manhood for some piece of ass. Like,
Exactly.
what the fuck?
No Diddy.
And it really. Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Now I said no Diddy.
Right. And it's like, and it really will fuck you up in the long term because you start to question yourself. Like, damn, I can't get girls to do what the fuck I want. I gotta always do what girls want. So I just wanted to give you guys a shout out because now I finally understood dealing with a girl on your terms will make you feel better about yourself. Because now it's like you have certain standards, and when you live up to those standards, you always feel good about a man. And shout out to you, Miles. You always say this. Your masculine identity is way more important than busting a nut.
Right. And check this out. No. See, because you said when you date a woman on your terms, it makes you feel good about yourself. No. You got to understand something. You got to feel good about yourself. Because feeling good about yourself is what makes you date on your terms.
Oh, yeah, right.
You understand? Because you know your life is dope, bro. You know the quality of places that you like to hang out. You know the type of man that you are. You know the way that you can influence and affect a woman's life. You could change a bitch's life, bro, simply because of the man that you are. And if you don't believe those things about yourself, it's going to be real hard for you out here in the dating game. You understand? If you one of these little weak bitch ass niggas still waiting for choosing signals, all you're really saying is that the woman's agenda is more important than yours. So you end up like these niggas on the video, acquiescing to hoes, acquiescing to bitches that don't truly respect you, acquiescing to bitches that's standing closer to the nigga giving the interview than she is standing closer to you. Huh? Paying more attention to the nigga because he got a platform with a few followers. All of a sudden, she actually looking at how she could ease in to fuck with the nigga with the microphone. You understand? So you got to understand, you believe in who you are, and that's exactly why you date on your terms, because my terms is the best, and I truly believe that. We don't date women on our terms to feel good about ourselves. We feel good about ourselves, therefore we date on our terms.
Because I'm sorry, what?
No, go ahead. That's a great point. And what?
I'm sorry, that's a great point, Miles, because I've been watching you guys for a minute, and I've been on the Bad Boy membership for a long time, but until I started loving myself, accepting myself, and appreciating myself, and shout out to you, Miles, being grateful every day for the type of life I want.
Facts.
Until I started loving myself, that's when I started having success in the game. Because before that, I was always looking for validation through women and shit like that. But once I started loving myself and said I don't need validation, that's when the game became so much more easier for me.
Exactly. Yep.
A couple of things real quick. Because you said earlier you felt kind of like shit. That's that post-nut clarity. That's when you realize you compromise your dignity. This is why, and I've actually had clients that used to be tricks, and they actually paid for sex, and they admitted that they felt like crap, that they didn't like it. They didn't like that. They felt like this is the only way I can get women to be into me is I gotta compromise my dignity and pay for it. Now, if you're the type of dude where you can get sex without paying for it, and every now and again you go to a foreign country and pay for it, that's one thing. But if the majority of the time a woman is only willing to be in your physical space as if you're spending money, bro, no man who has any type of dignity and pride in himself or self-respect would want that to be his situation. So what happens is a lot of times when you have sex with chicks and you realize you have to jump through all these fucking hoops and over hurdles, you realize, well, I do all of that just for some sex. Like this is ridiculous, right? Now, also, when we talk about dealing with a woman on your terms, I don't want guys to think, well, because I'm a man, it's supposed to be this way. Like Miles said, if you're not a quality dude, you know what I'm saying, with value to actually offer, then no woman is gonna look at you that way. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be, well, I'm a man with a ding-a-ling, so that's why women got to deal with me on my terms. No, you actually got to be the type of man that a woman could respect and admire. And she wants to be a part of your situation, which is why her dealing with you on your terms isn't no issue for her.
Exactly.
No, I think one of the steps that the caller said is so important. Is the difference between recognition and actually learning from the mistake. Like, you know, somebody can recognize what they're doing, recognize that they don't feel good while doing it, but then do nothing about it and keep repeating the same old mistake over and over again. So to recognize something is great, but to actually learn from it and have enough discipline to not do it again. And see, and that's that moment when you meet somebody and she's looking good, and then you recognize, man, there's something I don't really like about her. But hey, I know I can smash, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And then later on, you're like, man, I shouldn't even be over here in this whack situation or whatever. Well, that's because you just repeated the same mistake that you learned from already. You didn't really learn it from it. You just recognized it. So a lot of people got to understand, just recognizing something doesn't really change it. You got to make steps to change it and be disciplined.
Knowing is half the battle,
like
the G.I. Joe cartoon back in the day. Knowing is half the battle. My bad, Joe.
Yep.
All right, Rudy. I'll give you the last word before we let you go, bro.
Yeah, that is a great point, J. Roman and K. Zag. And you talk about tricking and stuff. I remember this one time, right? I never tricked on a bitch, right? But I remember this one time I was getting ready to fuck this girl and she wasn't trying to give me head. I'm like, "You're not trying to give me head?" She was like, "No, you lucky I'm even letting you get a taste of this pussy." And let me tell you, still, my dumbass still went along and fucked the bitch. And the next day I felt like shit afterwards. That was the day where I'm like, never again. Right. Never fucking again. I don't give a fuck how bad the bitch is. I will never deal with a bitch who doesn't value me as much as I value myself again.
Thanks.
Bro.
All right, thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you.
All right, Rudy, take it easy, bro. We appreciate you. Happy Easter and all that cool shit, man. Take it easy. All right. We got 832, but hold on, 832. Go ahead, K-Zach.
No, I just want to say this real quick. Gentlemen, if you're ever dealing with a woman and she implies that you're lucky or you should be so blessed that you get to touch her, leave her alone.
Facts.
Right away. Don't deal with her no more after that. I got it.
Exactly. She good. All right, so we got 832. What's going on with you, man?
Man, I'm chilling, man. How y'all brothers doing?
Chilling, bro. And this is Jay, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
man.
sir. Yeah, I got your Cash App. I appreciate it, bro. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. All right.
Man, you spit a bar. Man, you spit a bar yesterday, man. And when I called into the show yesterday, I don't watch it live. I watch it from like where I start at. And so as I kept going, you said something that stood out, man. You said women don't have an identity until the man gives it to them.
Right.
And that shit right there rung a bell. Because one time I was dealing with this girl, and every time we get through smashing, she'd be like, "So how did I do?" And I'd be like, "It was good. You did good." Like, you know. So she kept saying, like, "We'll smash again." So how did I do?
How did I do?
I'm like, yo, it was good. Like I nut. You came a few times. You kept, hollering and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you did good. So the next time she asked me, I said, "Yo, why you keep asking me this shit?" She's like, the last guy said I was boring, so now I need feedback. I need to know how am I doing, because I think my shit is boring because the last dude told me I'm so boring in bed. I'm like, whoa. So when you said that shit, it reverted me back to a situation where women, and even guys, if you allow somebody to get in your mind and hold space and create space and just do all kind of shit in your mind, then they control you, man. And that shit is real, man. That shit's real.
Nah, that's facts.
So
that's facts, bro.
Well,
we're the influencers, we give them the influence.
There you go, Miles. Influence. When a woman, because here's the thing: when a woman is feeling you, your opinion very much matters. Your opinion matters a great deal. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in relationships, marriage or whatever, and the women I was with was posting shit like on Facebook, I would never like their pictures or nothing. I would never do that, right? And because everybody else in their family and loved ones, they doing all that goofy ass shit, right? So me, I would give them a compliment face to face if I liked what they had on or whatever, and it meant the world to them that I would acknowledge. Like if your woman get her hair done in a different style you normally don't see it in, and you acknowledge it, or she get her nails done differently and you acknowledge it, or she wearing her makeup differently and you acknowledge it, that means the world. You know what I'm saying to them. So you have a lot of influence. So if you say something, man, you kind of whack in bed. Okay, that can make them feel insecure and fuck with them. So now what happens is when they deal with the next dude, and that guy opinion matters. Now they need constant validation to kind of empower them to start to feel good about themselves again, and that's why she did that.
Nah, facts. That shit is real, man. That influence is real, and I do feel like when you guys always say leave them better than you found them, that's a real statement because some guys leave them worse than when they found them. You know what I'm saying? So influence is very powerful, and a lot of guys, I guess they get the power, and like you said, K-Zag, they can tell a girl, you ain't shit, you'll never find nobody better than me, and the woman believes it, like, oh shit, I won't find nobody better than you. Like, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna need you to go make this money. Give me your check, send direct deposit to my account, or you'll never find a nigga better than me. And a lot of women do believe that shit, man. And sometimes I'll be like, damn, man, like, I gotta cut girls off because I feel like they too far gone.
I've had women say that guys are telling me you'll never find anybody, nobody will ever want you. And and I'm thinking them down, I'm thinking to myself, like, and what it is, all it is manipulation. Because the guy doesn't want her to find joy with another man. Right. And that's all he's doing is trying to beat her down and keep her in a space where she feels like he's the only guy for me. He's the only guy that can really make me happy and all of that. And what that really comes from is that sometimes women, they have unhealthy attachments to certain dudes. That's all that really is. Because there are some women, you can say that shit too. You'll never find no one like me, and they'll laugh like, nigga, please stop it. You know what I'm saying? But there are some other women who got maybe low self-esteem issues and insecurity issues, and you don't realize how deep that shit go until you say that shit to them.
Right.
I got it.
Exactly.
Yeah, my grandfather always taught me that when something is said, people think about it. Right. So it could be the littlest things, the biggest, like, hey, if something is said, people think about it. So the influences you have around you is important, so you're not hearing constantly things that you're thinking about that are negative. One thing I really want to get to is that when Miles say that we're the influencers, instantly in my head, a lot of guys are ducking their responsibility and they're looking weak as they do it because they want to act like they're not the influence when they're the submissive one, but they still are influencing their woman. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, you're still influencing. And a lot of guys are badly influencing women because they're refusing to take the leadership role and make their influences action, make it something direct, something they plan, something, they're moving towards, instead of just, you're not really doing it good. You're non this and non that. And she might have been. Like, I'm not saying he was wrong because she might have been, and that's why she improved it later on. But either way, the fact that you make this statement without any guidance or any plan to fix or engage in that is letting you know that you're not a leader. You're there just to take and move on. You know, and we don't leave somebody better just taking and leaving on. We leave by giving. And then if we have to move on, they're going to learn from that experience too.
Yeah.
Because they'll learn that, oh, okay, man, I lost that guy. He was a very good leader. I couldn't get out of my way to be led. So my thing is, dudes are ducking their responsibility in being these leaders, trying to pretend or, to be submissive or try to pretend just to roll on their own, when actually it's our duty as men to lead, period. It's going to happen. It's going to happen no matter what. So you have to take the responsibility. You can't take the responsibility lightly. And, to be a man is hard work. It's a hard job. We got to do things, plan things out, do it precisely. We got to have a certain attitude where we don't care what other people are saying, keep forging forward. A lot of things we got to sacrifice and discipline and things we got to do. That's hard. And people take the lazy way out because they just don't want the responsibility. And then they try to put it off on the woman.
I agree. I agree with that. I always say that, and when I say this around feminists, they have a problem. I say men are natural born leaders, and women are like, how so? Because you're a man? Yeah, bitch, pretty much. But what it is guys they don't want to take the responsibility and lead.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to take it. And it's not an ego thing. See, a lot of people, they think everything is he's egotistical or it's misogyny or all it. No, it's not that. This is my thing. And Jay Roman said it earlier. You always influence women. If you are passive, a woman is influenced by the fact that you're passive. If you are assertive, a woman is influenced by the fact that you are assertive. So she's going to respond either way.
Right.
And how she responds is going to determine whether or not she respects you or she doesn't. It's really that fucking simple. So when we talk about leading, it's not about being, because no good leader, we're all selfish, but good leaders will actually do selfless things. But you know what I'm saying? So that way they can actually empower the woman. So when we talk about leaving women better than we left them, what's really about is saying, you know what, our situation has run its course. I really don't see that we can, evolve or ascend too much further from this. But as a woman, you still have value. I've seen it. That's why I'm dealing with you, right? But now it's to a point where now that value you have, maybe some other guy could benefit from your value because there's nowhere for us to go. You know what I'm saying? And then you let her go. But when she goes, you know what I'm saying? It's an amicable situation where it's respect on both sides, and she don't feel like shit. She still feel like, you know what? I still love this dude. There's still love because of the way we departed, and it was no ill shit. He ain't trying to break me down and all that other nonsense. Y'all got it.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of what you hear when guys say that, or you ain't never gonna find nobody better than me, or you ain't gonna find nobody who wants you. That's just insecure. That's just insecurity, and that's see, and that's the thing. That's the thing that it sets a bad rep for a lot of men, because women take a lot of that shit to heart. And then it makes them put their walls up where they don't believe men. You understand? Like honestly, a lot of the times when you meet, all right, how many? And I'm sure this happened to everybody on the panel. How many times have you stepped to a chick, and simply because she was in a relationship with a man that she could respect, y'all had the illest and most healthy, positive interaction between each other? Like, you stepped to her, hey, what's going on? I just came over here to say what's up to you. I was wondering if we could go get a drink sometime. I could give you my number. Well, listen, so the man that I'm with, he wouldn't really appreciate that, but I really appreciate your approach. I think you dress real nice, and I really appreciate the way you came at me, and you actually made my day because I feel like I still got it. However, my man is just not going to have something like that. So I will politely decline, and I respect you, brother, and you have a great day. Like, that's the type of a bitch a woman who, because I can't even call her a bitch in this context, a woman who has the positive influence of a man, she can't even really reject a nigga like that. Like, all of that type of rejection that so many guys are afraid of, you won't get that from a real woman who has healthy masculine influence and leadership in her life, bro. It won't happen. Because all you got to do is step to her respectfully, and she'll let you know what it is. She'll let you know exactly what her man don't tolerate, and that she is in respect to her man, and she appreciates you because you are beautiful. I heard this so many times. You are a beautiful brother, and I love the way you came at me respectfully, but my man will not have that, and I respect my man too much to even let anything like that happen. You get what I'm saying?
I've had chicks say, you're about 6 months too late.
I
give about 6 months too late. In other words, you're the type of dude I can see myself dealing with.
Right.
But you're 6 months too late. I have a beautiful situation, and I ain't fucking it up for nobody.
I ain't fucking it up for nothing, for nobody.
But I appreciate you. Good luck to you, and you have a blessed day. And this is a woman who, like you said, she has a healthy relationship with a masculine dude. And she ain't bitter about nothing. She loving life. She loved the dude she with, and she loved the fact that she can have dudes that she are attracted to still approach her. But because she's in such a good space mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, she ain't mad about nothing.
Right.
Well, I'll take it one step further than that. I think because she respects her man and is influenced so much by him, she respects men.
Exactly. Hence the positive
right.
interaction.
So, that interaction is not, she's still going to come at you respectful. I've been to places where you could tell that you know, when your plate gets made and a woman has nothing to do with you, don't know you from Adam, but you're just at a place, is making your plate. What do you want, honey? What do you want? She ain't getting at you or nothing like that. She just respects that, hey, there's a man in here, because I know that if somebody came barging in, he's going to be the ones that's going to stand up and stop the funk that's happening. So let me do my part. Hey, what do you want on your plate? And not make it into a big deal. But there's one thing I want to tell the caller, man. You know, my mind works in the different ways, man. It's just, don't always believe everything these women tell you. And, you know, because that guy that she was with, you know, we don't know, because we're only speculating. We just know what she said, he said. But, you know, maybe he did give her the opportunity and did open up and say, hey, you know, your sex game's kind of whack. You know, and it was hard for her to take it. And then later on, she's boo-hooing later on. I just, you know, I want to know this. So I'll be cautious. Don't believe all the stories and try to save them and make them feel better for that. Maybe it was something she was supposed to feel in that time period, because maybe it was whack. Maybe she was sitting there being a starfish, you know, not doing nothing. And then he had to tell her, like, look, I done suggested, I done brought toys, I done did all this stuff. I can't deal with this no more. And now she's crying to you because my ex told me, you know, I don't, you know. But
or it could have been a situation where she was like, man, you keep acting up, you ain't gonna be able to get this no more. I'm about tripping on your whack ass coochie.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you never know. But go ahead.
So, you know, don't be too concerned about what was said in the past with the ex. You know, of course, we only deal with what we're dealing with right now, right? You know, the behavior of now. So, you know, my thing is, I don't get too high or low on these stories they be telling me. You know, oh my, he was just so abusive. Oh, he hit you, man. That's kind of messed up. No, it's just some of the things he said. Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't back there. I don't know what prompted him to say the things he said. You know, but either way, how are you doing today? Like, we're not gonna go in the past and comfort you and you know, you got to understand what you're with right now. So
that
be
is
cautious
a red
about
flag,
saving
though.
them. Be cautious about saving them, man.
That is a red flag when you meet a woman, specifically a woman you just met, and she's saying something negative about a dude she previously dealt with or dudes. To me, that is a huge red flag. Don't get into that Captain Save-A-Ho mentality. And I'm not saying you did, but some guys might be like, girl, he did all that to you. Girl, you too beautiful for all that. You need you a man that's gonna hold and protect your heart, girl. Don't get into that nonsense. But go, y'all got it.
Now you playing.
Yeah. So Jay, I'll give you the last word before I let you go.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, with that, you know, you playing her game, you know, because I think some of these girls, their ego's so big that guys are so used to coming so fast and moaning that, since I don't make a lot of noise in bed, she may start feeling insecure. Like, damn, why he not coming so fast? Why he not moaning and whining and shit? But anyway, off that, hey man, y'all keep dropping these bars, keep spitting this knowledge and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and Miles, man, keep telling guys to have that boss mentality, because some guys, I think they feel like, why should I venture for something more when I'm just an employee? They see themselves as an employee, so they don't think any further than employee. So hey, keep reiterating this shit, man, and hopefully guys catch on to everything, man. I'm still listening to and learning. Y'all keep doing that thing, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother. Happy weekend, happy Easter, and be safe.
Peace.
Likewise, all three of y'all.
That's right. It is Easter.
And what he's talking about, guys, is that, you know, guys call in all the time and they say at their job, oh yeah, my boss said this and my boss said that. And what I want guys to know is that, especially if you're in a situation where you know, and we're gonna get to 224 in a second, but especially if you're in a situation where you know you're at a job and it's a stepping stone in your journey or career, you don't need to be calling no man your boss. I mean, if he's your supervisor or he's the manager of your department or department manager, something like that, refer to him as that, or just refer to him as a goddamn coworker. But to every time you subconsciously refer to another man as your boss, I believe it does something to your psyche. And if you know deep down that you are the boss of your own life, don't be referring to no other man as a boss. So I just wanted to clarify what he was saying. That's something I said on the show yesterday with Lucario. So we got 224. You're on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. We got your host K Zaggin, Jay Roman, and your boy Miles. What's going on with you?
Yeah, it's Emmanuel, Jacksonville, 22.
All right.
Real quick, Emmanuel. Hold on. Real quick, Emmanuel. Real quick. I want to say something before I forget it. I'm going to say something that's going to be unpopular. Miles just said something that made me think about this. For everybody that got a job, you're submissive to one degree or another because you submitted to the company.
Facts.
I just want to point that out.
Nah, that's real shit.
I just want to point that out. But to Miles's point, although you submitted to the company, you can still maintain your dignity as a man and not refer to him as boss. All right, you got it, caller.
Exactly. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, so I had a question about like how you can like manage how to be better at managing a woman's attraction to you.
Managing her attraction? Explain what you mean. Please give us some context.
Elaborate, please.
Yeah, so I feel like I have this chick and she's like texting me like all the time, almost like double texting and all that shit like that. And I was just like, it's cool. Like, I'm glad that she's enthusiastic. She's always trying to fuck and shit like that, like a nymphomaniac, essentially. Now, my sex drive ain't that high, so I'm not, like, about all of that, like, all the time. And now she's talking about what's your fantasy and all of this shit, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm young. I've never thought about it from that perspective. But
okay, I got you. So, so when you guys are together, do you do other things outside of just having sex?
No, so that's the thing though. We've only fucked like twice.
Okay, but listen to what I'm asking though. Outside of just having sex, do you do other things? Do you have conversations? Do you watch TV together? Do you share a meal?
Nah.
Okay. So here's the thing. So now I'm not saying that this is the case, but I talked about in the past how women sometimes will use sex to manipulate you, okay? And there's typically two ways they can do it. They will either stall you out or withhold it and get you to do things they want you to do, or they'll give you a bunch of it real quick, however you want it, and that's their way to gain access to you, right? So I'm not saying that she's doing that, but be mindful of that, because a lot of times guys assume, oh man, she can't get enough of this, man, she always wants this, and what she's really doing is she's using sex as a conduit to be in your physical presence. And then what's going to happen is, in some cases, what they'll do is they'll start to do shit like try and spend a night.
Yeah.
And they'll try to kind of push the envelope to get more time with you. Again, and I'm not saying that that's the case with you, but just watch out for that when a woman is doing all of that and she's going overboard where she's constantly texting you all the time, double texting, because to me, that's clingy energy. So not only is she clingy, but she's throwing sex on you to kind of keep your mind on that. Y'all got it.
Caller, let me ask you a couple questions. How long have you been with this girl?
I mean, I fucked her first time 2 weeks ago.
Nigga. All right. This is not your girl, right?
No.
Okay. Now, where do you think she would have got the idea that she could call and text you so much?
Well, like, I mean, it must have. I think it came from me, but I think she's misconstruing what I was saying.
No. Hold on. All right, let's start from the beginning. Where did you meet this girl?
At the bar.
At the bar. Okay. From the time that the time that you met her at the bar to the time that y'all met up again to have sex, how many times did you call or text her?
Like, I've never reached out to her first, if that's what you mean. But
how many conversations or text messages did y'all have in between?
Like 3, 4.
Three conversations?
4? Well, I mean, one of them was just setting up the time to meet again. And then the second time, she saw me at the bar, but with someone else. And she was with someone else. And she started talking to me about that. And then I set up a time again at that point in time for something to set something up again, because I thought I was just supposed to limit the time on the phone. And then she's talking to me today.
Okay, so you basically what you're saying is that she's texting and calling you too much. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit excessive. Like, I mean, I just don't have it's all about sex and stuff like that, which I don't like. My sex drive is not the highest. It's like
you're not listening. You're not listening. You're not listening. I don't give a fuck what the context is. How many? Like, what is? How do you know that she's texting you too much? What is too much?
I think too much is more than once every week and a half, maybe.
Okay, so when the text come through, does it have to do with the next time y'all see each other?
Yeah, it usually goes around the lines of like, I'm craving you right now.
Okay.
Or
now,
hey,
when have you set the times to see each other? Every week and a half? Is that what it is?
Like every week in 2 days or so.
Every week in 2 days.
Yeah.
So every 8 to 10 days. Every 8 to 10 days.
Yeah, something like that. So is she also calling you or just texting you and telling you that she's craving you?
Just texting.
So she's calling you and telling you that she's looking forward to seeing you next time, basically.
She's just texting. She's texting me that.
And she doing it? Is she doing that every day?
Like it's like damn near every other day.
Damn near every other day. Is it the type of text where she's asking you questions for you to respond back?
Yeah, like she was asking me like, what is my fantasy? Now I haven't responded to that shit. I'm just.
And another question. What time of day is she texting you?
Good question, Miles.
Nighttime, like 7 p.m.
7-8 p.m. Is she texting you? Is she texting you like late, like 11, 12?
No, not 11 or 12, but
like 7, 8 p.m. 7 to 8 p.m. Okay. The only thing, here's what I want to ask you too. What do you want? What do you want to change? Let's just say you was Mr. Strange and you can wave your hand and make exactly what you want happen. Tell me what you want.
Man, just maybe hook up like once every week and a half.
You said you're already doing that. You said you're already doing that.
Like, yeah, but without all the texting,
Okay, again, you see how you motherfuckers can't answer a fucking question? I asked you, tell me what exactly you want to happen, bro. How do you want to change the situation? How would you like to customize the situation to your liking that's not happening right now?
Yeah, just smashing like twice a month with none of the texting in between and all that.
With none of the texting in between. Okay, so are you willing to tell her to stop texting you?
Yeah.
So just do that then, bro.
So caller.
I'm sitting here like this is.
So caller, what you can do is just let her know that hey, as far as us reaching out to each other, let's limit it to setting up a sexual rendezvous. And anything that you want to talk about sex related, let's save that for when we link up in person.
When we meet each other. That's it.
That's all you got to do.
Cause she's not your girl, bro.
Yeah.
You ever play the quiet game with kids?
Huh?
You ever play the quiet game with kids?
Yeah.
Okay, you tell her, look, my fantasy is that I don't want to text with anybody. Like, I just want to meet and show up at a certain time. And what turns me on is that person remembers it and shows up ready for me when I walk through the door. In fact, on this date and time, I want you to have the door unlocked. I want you to wear this, whatever you want her to wear. I'm going to come in wearing a hoodie. I'm going to come in wearing some shorts and some boots. And I'm coming to rock that thing, and then I'm going to walk away. And then I'm going to text you when the next time it is. That's my fantasy.
There you have it.
And my thing is, like, I'm sitting here like, you really don't have a problem. And you got to understand something. Sometimes it's not you, it's her habit.
Yeah. It
right.
could be her
So you're
habit.
saying I put little into this and she's already acting like this. Well, that's because it's her habit. She likes to get it in. She's found somebody she's comfortable with getting it in with. So she's trying to get it in.
There you go. And to respond to what Renee, hold on real quick, caller, to respond to Renee says, she says, then tell her, how hard is that, Jesus? The reason why a lot of times you guys don't want to say anything,
shout out, Renee.
Y'all don't want to upset the apple cart and lose access to the woman sexually. This is why y'all be walking on eggshells and timid as fuck. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you don't have a problem with
like the access to her. I was more like, sometimes women's feelings do get hurt. I was like, I want to say it in a way where it's not like this.
So, look, caller, look. I'm gonna say something. I want you guys to think about something.
Need some game there.
If you're not going out of your way to be mean or malicious, and you're just being honest with how you feel about something, it's not your problem if a woman takes it the wrong way and her feelings get hurt. I mean, it's good that you have such a great heart that you're being considerate and thoughtful of that, but that's not your problem, though. Okay, the thing of it is, and Miles said it earlier, if you want to carve out a particular type of experience and have a particular type of experience, that's more important than anything else. Is making sure you have the type of experience that you want to have. And if the woman's feeling get hurt along the way, that's not your problem. I know it sounds ruthless. Shout out to Boss Mac. Do you have the heart to be ruthless? And it's not about, again, it's not about you being mean or malicious, because you can say it in a respectful way with some tact to it. But sometimes you just got to tell chicks what it is, man. You can't be worried about all that other shit.
No. Are you afraid of losing her, caller?
No.
Okay, so do what you got to do, bro. Do what you got to do. You manage your woman in general by giving her instructions and seeing how she follows those instructions. That's literally it. So if she's doing something that you don't like or that you're not comfortable with, you need to tell her, hey, this is what it is. I don't really do all that texting and calling. And if I'll contact you and set up the time for us to meet up, and that's it. If she has a problem with that, then you know exactly what to do. What do you do if she has a problem with that, caller?
Just have to, say, hey, listen, that is what it is. You can either accept or not accept, and let her make the choice whether she wants to stay or not.
Right. So if she doesn't want to accept it, you charge her to the game, meaning that you let her go. And then you also let her know that when she's ready to accept the terms, then she has your information. But until then, good luck. That's it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
And caller, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I want to explain something. You see, I noticed the caller said that his libido ain't crazy like that, right?
I was just about to.
This is exactly why you have to believe in who you are and how you like to do things, i.e., dating on your terms. You understand? Because listen, if your libido is at a certain level and this chick is doing all of this shit, because who knows, she could be doing all this shit to try to impress you, but she don't even really want to be doing it necessarily. But you know in your mind that what's best for your libido and for your sexual appetite is for her to stop texting you so goddamn much. Do you understand? Now, no matter what she thinks about it, because women are gonna have whatever the fuck they want to say. Oh, you don't want me texting you, or you got other girls. You got, what's the matter? You don't want to. It don't matter what she thinks. And if you do have other bitches, then you got other bitches. She's not your girl. She hasn't earned the right to even be asking you any of those type of questions any fucking way. And if she feels she has that right so early, then you really need to charge her to the fucking game. But like I said, you know you best. You know what what gets your dick hard. You know how you know the environment that's gonna make you perform at your best. And you know that her texting you so much is kind of weird and it makes you uncomfortable and you don't really even like that shit. And it doesn't even excite you. You understand? So this is exactly why you have to date on your terms. Because if she keeps fucking around trying to run the show, you may not even be able to get a goddamn erection for this bitch no more. Simply because she's not doing things by your guidelines. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to explain that so guys can know that there are real reasons why, as a man, you need to be doing things on your terms, because the vagina is built to receive. So that means the person who really got to be performing at their best is always the man. So if the bitch ain't following the man's rules, he may not be able to perform at his best. So how is this great sex going to happen if you're not doing what the fuck I need you to do?
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Because I was thinking, man, I don't even think I could, I don't think I even have the drive to have a full on 3-4 girl roster. I was I think just a solid two.
And caller, real quick, and that's okay. Look, let me tell you guys something. For all you guys, brother, that's okay. By no means should guys try to replicate what another guy is doing. If
Right.
you feel like I'm good with one chick, deal with one chick. If you feel like the most I can deal with is 2, although I might have more women that I could deal with, I'm gonna cut it off at 2 because I really don't want to give that time to all these women. Do you and be comfortable doing you. Never look at another man's situation and try to replicate what he got going on.
Facts. All right,
Okay.
all right, caller.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. What?
All right, man. Thanks for the call. Happy holidays, happy Easter, and all that. Take it easy.
Real quick, Carl, appreciate you, brother. Tony Praying Mantles with the $2 sub film. Give him my donation salute. All right, thank you, brother. If y'all got questions,
Stay out
put
the
a
fast
Q in the
lane.
chat. Put a Q in the chat followed by your question. How's the calls now?
We good on calls. Go ahead. Yeah, we good on calls.
Yeah, I suggest y'all call in. Call in. Don't wait till the last minute. Also, if you got a question, please put a Q in the chat. The number is 919-647-9392. We're talking about, are men more submissive than women? If you agree or disagree, please call in. If you got your own story where you were in a subservient role, please call in. If you were a cuck or something like that, please call in. And let me just say this real quick. Let me just say this, guys. There are a lot of guys who are in a submissive role and don't realize it. Let me further explain what I mean. If you're dealing with a woman and you're offering a date and she tells you she don't like that venue and she gives you another date idea and you acquiesce to that, okay, you're in a submissive role at that point. Okay, I need you guys to understand that anytime a woman wants to do something a certain way and you really don't want to do it the way she wants to do it, but you're doing it that way,
right,
to be in her good graces or to stay in her good graces, you are in a submissive role. Also, let me say this, because there's been some video clips and other types of joints that's popped up on the internet, YouTube specifically, where guys are talking about where they're in a marriage or a long-term relationship and the woman isn't having sex no more, and then they go to the woman and she'll say, well, you don't take me out like you used to. We don't take trips enough. You're not servicing my emotional needs. And then the guys will start doing all that just to get some sex. You are in a submissive role. Anytime you do something at the behest of the woman, because you're either trying to get to the sex or you're trying to keep access to her sexually or whatever, you are in a submissive role. And once you are in that submissive role, it's not like you're submissive Tuesday and you're dominant Thursday. No, you are the submissive person in the whole interaction, period. The whole way. And once a woman realizes she can move you from here to there with sex, you're automatically in a subservient role to her. She knows she's running you. Whether it's a conscious thing or a subconscious thing, women know if they can control you with vagina or they can control you with, if you don't act right, you won't get it, and then you acquiesce, they know they got you. And most guys, let me just say this, and I'll pass it to you guys. But any of you guys, if you're mainly motivated to either get into a relationship or to cohabitate with the woman so you can have consistent access to pussy or in-house pussy, all you niggas submissive. Y'all got it.
Now, you mentioned that cuckolding thing, man, and I seen this special on that, and I had one viewpoint of it, but this one dude on there, he was training somebody else. They was like in Alaska, something like that. I forget where they was at as far as where it was at, but dude, he was sitting there and he told his woman, who gave you that pleasure, right? Now, she was having sex with somebody else, but he was like, who's giving you this pleasure? She said, you are. He said, yeah, I'm allowing you to get this. I'm giving you this pleasure and things like that. And he was trying to tell dude that, look, it doesn't matter about this guy. I'm allowing this to happen. If I didn't allow this to happen, it wouldn't happen. And the guy, he had this one lady and she wound up meeting the dude later on. And he still kept her around. And he was telling the guy the story, like, oh, she met up, whatever. And he said, oh, she's already broken the code. And she's like, no, you need to get rid of her. And he looked at him like, do I need to get? He said, yeah, you need to get rid. Like, there is nothing without us, without, saying, like, he was serious about his rules and how to set it up and everything like that, which was kind of, and he said, I told him, this is not that important. This is off the table. Like, you giving me sex is off the table. Like, I don't care about that. He goes, now we do have sex and stuff like that, but this is what she wants. I think he said something about, it was his idea. Because if it was her idea, I wouldn't do it. That's what he told her to do. And so, and the guy is looking, and he said, was this his idea? Was this your idea or her idea? And, dude didn't want to answer that question, which set the tone for a whole nother path, because he was like, we wouldn't do this if it wasn't my idea. And so even if, and I only mention that because when we talk about sex, a lot of cats are afraid of losing out on the opportunity. And so that one guy, the last caller, he was trying to drive in a lane that was way faster than the lane that he really wants to be in. Right? Because then he's messing with somebody that I don't know if my libido is that fast. And yeah, you know what she's calling you for. You know what that 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock text is. She's trying to set up her night and get some. You don't want to commit to that because you don't have that same drive. Then why even be in the situation alone? We just don't match. This is not the lane I need to be in. And that's you still taking control. Like, you don't have to miss out on anything. But you just have to take control of whatever you got your direction and whichever direction you want to go.
So, and speaking of that, I would say this for guys: if I would recommend that if you're dealing with a woman that has a higher sex drive than yours, do not get into a sexually exclusive relationship. I would recommend that you don't, unless it's open, right? Because if you have a woman that has an insatiable appetite for dick, or she's incorrigible when it comes to sex, and you can't keep up, it's just a matter of time before it becomes an issue. In fact, over the last 2 to 3 years, there's been an uptick in women who are either married or in long-term relationships going to their significant other and pitching the idea of having an open relationship. And I would say, if it's the woman's idea, don't do it. Don't do it. And I would say, if it's yours, then the woman should always be following your lead. And here's the thing. Let me just say this for any guy that's ever had that happen, or maybe you will. If a woman is in a relationship or marriage with you and she comes to you and she mentions opening it up, she's not asking your blessing or your permission. She's really not. Because the fact that she has the courage to mention it to you, that means she's gonna do it eventually. You know what I'm saying? Whether you stamp it or not. So either way, you got to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? Because I guarantee you, like for me, if it actually did happen when I was in a relationship and I went to the young lady and I told her I was going to be entertaining other women, I wasn't asking her. I wasn't asking for her blessing. I was basically letting her know it was about to go down. And if she wanted to talk about it, we can have a discussion and set up the whole boundaries and parameters. But it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So I just want guys to understand, this is why you need to know who you're with. Take your time with women, understand who you're with before you make a decision to get into a relationship. Y'all got it.
Facts. Let me see. Guys, call in 919-647-9392. We got a shout out to Mutabazi for the $10 super chat. He says, salute to the panel. Y'all appreciate y'all for preaching when y'all hang with friends or family. Hear them say bitch shit about relationships. Do you spit game to correct them?
Oh yeah.
I used to, but a lot of guys, their egos can't handle it, especially if the women start looking at you like, I like the way he thinks. Now you're a threat in some cases. Your ideologies or how you think is a threat, because now the woman is looking at that guy like, I've always wanted a guy that really thought like how Kerry thinks.
Right.
So it's problematic, especially if the woman lets it be known that she prefers your way of thinking over her man's. It's problematic.
I do it because I don't want you to look in that crowd and see me go and leave thinking I agree with that, because I don't. So if you say something and I disagree with it, I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with it, or be like, you know, you be you, but that ain't me. This is
Right.
what I would do. So it don't have to be an argument. It don't have to be a, you know, a teach session. But, you know, I'm definitely going to tell you, like, if I disagree, I disagree with that, because I don't want anybody walking away like I agree with something that I disagree with. Like, that's just it for me. Now, I don't have to break it down. I can just be like, yeah, that's one way of doing it. It wouldn't be my way, you know, and we don't have to discuss it any further besides that, depending on how I feel about it and who I'm around, you know. But at the same time, nah, sometimes I gotta say something. It's family, especially if they're younger. If they're younger cousins, younger cats that's in the family that I know,
definitely the
I gotta go
youngest.
ahead and lace
Yeah,
them
I'm
up.
getting them, getting a hold of them. Yeah.
You know,
Hold on, real quick, J. Roman. Let me say this: for you guys that are asking questions, if there's not a queue in front of your question, I'm not reading that shit, because what that's gonna do is put me in a situation where I got to read all of this shit. So if you want your question answered and you want it to stand out, put a queue in front of your shit and repost it.
Put a Q in the chat, guys.
Yeah, my last thing is just read the room, man. Like, everything ain't got to be a big discussion every time. Like, just read the room. You know, what type of vibe you guys going through, going from there. You know, somebody emotionally breaking down and shit at a family function. You know, just read the room, man. It might not be the time to tell him he was wrong from the very beginning, and everything he did to his soul and core was a mistake. You know. But anyway.
Yeah. So if you got any questions you want to get at, because we good on calls for now.
Well, I'm just gonna say this to Plug Ultra, bro. You gotta call in, bro, with this. He says, "How should I move out submission role with women in my family?" We need more context.
Plug Ultra, it's a free call. Call in. It's a free call.
Yeah, y'all gotta look. Let me tell y'all something, guys. Okay, we're all grown adults, right? All of us have some type of education. Okay, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. Some of your questions that you're asking, they require a simple response, and then we can move on. A lot of these other questions, it's really you have an open-ended question. When you have an open-ended question, you got to call in. If you have a closed-ended question, we can just respond to it, and that's that. But this, it requires, come on, man. Like, come on, man. Call in.
Yeah. So 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. Call in.
So, gentlemen, are men more submissive than women? In my opinion, I believe so. I believe nowadays, men today, males specifically, are more submissive. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. See, back in the day, right? Now we can go back 50 years, 60, 70, 80, 100. Back in the day, women had to conduct themselves a certain way to actually be wifey material for a lot of men. Nowadays, guys are so quick to want companionship and affection and sex from women, they automatically put women in these roles that they shouldn't be in. And it's not that the woman is undeserving of being a girlfriend, it's that she's undeserving of being your girlfriend in particular. Okay, and I say that because if she was with another man, she wouldn't act that way. Like when we showed you guys the clips of how those women had more of a dominant presence than those guys, do you think every guy that those women dealt with would let them do that? No. So what a lot of guys don't understand, and a lot of guys, what guys do is they try and reconcile what they do with, well, everybody's doing it, so this is just how shit is.
Right.
This is why you have guys say, you pay either way.
Exactly.
That pay you either way is one of the weakest, most subservient coping statements ever. Because it's basically saying, I'm so weak, I have no influence, I have no masculine influence with the women that I deal with, that I'm just going to go ahead and capitulate and acquiesce to the woman, but it's okay because every guy is doing what I'm doing. No, brother. No. Not every guy. Even, I'm going to say this, even you passport bros are submissive. Yeah. You guys are submissive because, and I say that because you're going to a foreign country to give a woman what you know she wants so you can get what you want. So anytime you do shit for women on the front end, hoping you can get what you want on the back end, you already in a submissive role. This is why you have guys complain about gold diggers, or they complain about women using them for free dates. The only men that complain about shit like that are guys who did that on the front end and never got what they felt like they deserved on the back end. Because guys who were never used, played, or abused by women have no reason to complain about those type of things. So at some point, a lot of you guys may have been in a submissive role. Maybe you're not now. Maybe that's why a lot of guys say, I'm not fucking with women, because you feel like you don't have what it takes to actually influence the woman to be submissive to you. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing shit out there. I got it.
There's a few statements that I just can't stand, and one of them is "happy wife, happy life." That's one you already know. If you're in that submissive, if that is your viewpoint, then you already know you're in a submissive relationship. When the cats say, "Oh, you got to pick and choose your battles," like, nah. If I'm not comfortable with it, if I don't like what it said, then I'm going to mention it.
Right.
I don't have to wait and pick and choose the battle. Like, that's if you make everything into this big old molehill. But my thing is, like, hey, she should already know me and understand that if I'm saying something, it's because I don't like it, and correct it next time. It don't have to be a big thing. Just go ahead and correct it next time. Or, I just let her talk. I just let her say whatever she gonna say. But what's up. Like, not really. Is that how you coast through? Is you just let her talk? And then when guys say who really runs the house, you have a group of men and they be talking about, man, so, but man, who really runs the house? Like, no, I don't. Tell me who really runs the house. And then they put the name on it. I don't say it with your woman's name on it if that's what you're meaning.
Right.
And then the utmost one that just kills me is when all these fellas, you be sitting around, you making plans to go do something, and a dude goes, "Oh man, I gotta check with my woman first, or check with my wife." Like, what? Like, you don't know what's on the agenda, the calendar, or nothing? You don't, who updates you on what you got going on? Like, you don't know any of that. You can't make a plan.
Not at all. And I think it was shout out to who was the person? Jadism with the $4 super chat. He said, shout out to the game and respect to the fellas. All right. So we got 330. You're on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Yo, what's good, fellas? This is Deshaun, 31, Akron, Ohio.
Jay Sean, what's going on with you, man? What's up? What's up, homie? How you doing, bro?
Doing pretty good. I sent you $10 cash app.
Yes, I got it, bro. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. No problem.
All right. Appreciate it.
So, in regards to the subject, so I am I do a few things. Basically, I'm a full-time Uber driver as well, and I do pretty good with it. But I drive around a lot of passengers, and for example, I get this a lot. I be driving around guys. They're going out. They're like, yeah, the wife let me out. I'm kind of in a doghouse right now, but you know how that go. And it'd be crazy that they be using shit like that to try to bond with me. I was like, no, I don't know what's that.
I don't know what
you know what I'm saying? Because you feel me? Like they be thinking like that shit is cool. Like it's just something to brag about. Yeah, my wife let me out, or I'm in a doghouse. I'm sleeping on the couch and shit like that.
Wait. They tell you they sleeping on the couch?
Yes, bro. They be saying all this shit. It be wild. And I'm like, dude, like I understand why divorce rates be high, because these motherfuckers don't even have respect for themselves. So how is their wife supposed to respect them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So in regards to, them males being more submissive to women these days, I would say, yeah, absolutely. And it's like they're so hypnotized by the fact that they're blind to it.
Right.
Well, you know what it is? They think it's normal. They think it's normal. Shout out to the incomparable Renee P with the $5. Much love to the panel. Hit the like button and call in. The panel here to help. 919-647-93. She forgot a digit, girl. It's okay. I forgive you. All right, look. 617-9392. Y'all call in. All right. So this is what I would say. I think a lot of guys, they think it's normal because they feel like, man, sometimes you got to do shit to keep the wife happy. Because a lot of people think that it's incumbent upon them to make and keep their wife happy. No, it's not. Right. No, it's not. They feel like it's their duty to make her happy. And a lot of that is social conditioning, right? And basically it's about you. I got to make sure I don't lose her. I got to make sure I do things to keep her. So when they say I'm in a doghouse, what they're saying is I made her unhappy. So, I got to weather the storm of her being unhappy with me. And you got niggas sleeping on the couch? Bro, if a chick got mad at me, I'm looking at her like, I'll give her the pillow and blanket. Go ahead, go on out there. Oh man, I'm sleeping in this bed that I paid for. You done lost your damn mind. But go ahead, y'all got it.
Nah, real shit. But Jay Sean, like what? So what are you? I mean, you pick up guys and you hear a lot of them saying this. But what's your take on all this? What's really going on in these streets?
All right, you kind of broke up. It's probably on my end. You said, "What's my take on it?"
Yeah, what's your take on it?
I think it's bitch shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never subscribed to the fact of the happy wife, happy life thing, even before I became aware of like game and shit like that, because it just didn't sit right for me. I'm always been like a natural born rebel. So when I start hearing a lot of motherfuckers say that shit, I'm like, I don't like that. That don't sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they're trying to, I guess it's like trauma bonding, that what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I get abused. I put myself in this situation, get abused. You can't relate to that, right?
Wait. Time out. As O'Shea Duke Jackson would say, stop the show. Hold on, stop. A dude actually told you I put myself in a situation to get abused?
No. I'm saying that's basically what they're trying to do. Like they're making it seem like they're being abused and it's cool. You know what I mean?
I'm about to say like no, I can't relate to that. I can't relate to like hold on real quick. Where's it at? Let me find it. Give me a second. So he says, I've heard gotta ask the boss and gotta get the next play from the coach.
Yep.
This is
I hear that a lot too.
This is wild. Bro, this shit is wild to me. The men of my family were always dominant men who ran their households. Always. You know what I'm saying? So I've never seen the example of a weak man where he's kowtowing to his woman. I've never seen it. In my family, I should say.
Celebrating this shit.
Yeah, these niggas be it's exactly like you said. It's a trauma bond, or it's that misery love company shit.
Yep.
It's like they want to act like, hey, rite of passage, right, brother? Like sometimes you're in a doghouse, man. Sometimes these women, man, they just they go crazy on you, man. There's nothing you can do, buddy. And it's like, nah, man. Nah, I don't know what the fuck you talking about, bro. I don't sleep on the couch. I'm not ever in the doghouse ever. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I don't know what you're talking about. If me and a woman have a misunderstanding, we could discuss it. But we not going to bed angry. You understand what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, you got to get the fuck up out my house. Because if I'm supposed to be uncomfortable or afraid to sleep around you, that means there's something wrong with the relationship. You see what I'm saying? There's something wrong entirely with the relationship. So that means you fuck all that. Oh well, I'm sleeping in the couch and you sleeping. No, you could just leave altogether. You know what I'm saying? You go get a hotel room or go stay with your sister or whatever it is, and we could discuss this later on. Because see, these are the type of things that we need to understand as people. We need to accept ourselves, love ourselves, and as men, the fact that we're the leaders, we lead these relationships from a healthy space. Again, it's not about ego. It's not about putting your foot on a woman's neck just to feel like you in charge of something. You understand? Because a man already knows he's in charge. Like all of that, telling a woman you ain't never gonna find nobody like me. If you gotta tell a woman that means you're not doing your job.
Facts.
Because there should be a part of her that knows, even in a positive way. This relationship might be over, but I ain't never gonna find a man like him ever again. Because you're you. You're an individual. You're one of a kind. God made you 101. Everybody on this planet has that privilege to be 101. So the fact that you're not going to find nobody else like me is not anything for me to shame you for. It's for you to celebrate the fact that you ever knew me. And then if it's time for us to move forward, then it's time for us to move forward. But again, what I'm saying is that a lot of this shit is people delving in negativity, delving in dysfunction, and not loving themselves. You understand? So it's like oh well I'm a dopey man. You know, again, men. We are not Homer Simpson. You understand? We are not Peter Griffin. We're not fucking, Al Bundy. We're none of these fucking guys that you see on TV. We're men. We're leaders of relationships. We're authorities. We're protectors. We're providers. We're warriors. We give the women the source of confidence and identity that they need to be women in the first fucking place. You understand? So all of that. Oh, you know how it is when a wife gets mad and no, I don't know how it is. My woman don't get mad at me.
Facts.
My woman don't get mad at me. Yo, if my woman sees that I made a mistake, she'll bring it to my attention. That's the worst that could happen. And I've been with my woman for 2+ years. And that's the worst that'll happen. She'll be like, hey, I think you forgot this. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Thank you. I forgot this. So let's get. That's it. Argument? What the fuck are you talking about? Argument? Nigga, I swear to God. As passionate as you see me on this internet, that is the max. I don't have to ever raise my voice to this decibel with my woman, bro. Ever. Because once I start doing that, we got a problem. We shouldn't be together. We should not be together. If it got to go to this point, we shouldn't be together. I get passionate on this shit simply because I know that there are men suffering out there. Simply because I know that there are men sleeping on the fucking couch and think that shit is normal. That's why I get so passionate, because I know that it's so many motherfuckers out there just like that. Just like how you say you pick up all these Uber niggas and it's too many motherfuckers telling you the same story. And you looking at them like, wow, like really, my nigga? I really have no idea what that's like. Am I crazy? Am I different? Well, I guess you are crazy, bro. I guess you are different. You're definitely one of a kind. But see, that's because you recognize that you're one of a kind. You recognize your value. You recognize that there's no reason for a woman to get angry at you or for you to get angry at your woman. Why? Because you're the type of man that you develop consistencies. You go through the vetting process. You have patience. You have patience with and discipline for relationships and for pussy. That's the problem with so many niggas. Well, they get a taste of the pussy and it's the best thing in the world. So they're willing to go through all the disrespect, all the bullshit, all the dysfunction, all the negativity, just so they can keep the woman in place, so they can have sex with the woman. If you are a real man, you already know that pussy don't define you.
Facts. Let me say this. This is what guys got to understand. Number one, and I get into this debate on Facebook all the time. Because there's these goofy ass Facebook groups that I'm a part of where they, real love comes with arguments. No, arguing is not normal, guys. I'm telling you. But we live in a world or a society where people think it's normal to argue. No, what do I always say? Compatibility means existing in harmony without conflict. An argument is conflict, right? So if you're arguing, that means you're not compatible. If you're arguing, guys, if you and your woman argue, she has rejected your leadership.
Facts.
Period. I need guys to understand that. Just because you guys are good for a month and you ain't argued, that don't change the fucking dynamics that you have a relationship where the respect isn't there. Because if you're arguing maybe once every couple months or whatever, that's a problem. There was one dude in the Facebook group, he said he was with his girl for like 8-9 years. He said, we don't argue. We've never yelled at each other. And everybody was like, you full of shit. Cap. And I'm looking at that shit like, I really think that shit is normal to talk to each other that way.
See, and that's the thing, though.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
That some guys have influenced and taught their women how to argue by the female behavior that they display with their optims and yelling and screaming and what do you do this to me? You have just taught her how to argue and to scream and to have these massive disagreements to argue and break up. I don't do breakups to makeups. Like,
Right.
I don't do that stuff. We could be mad at each other. We could not be cool with each other. But if we come to the point I need to take a break. No, this is a permanent break. Like this, we're done. Like I'm not playing around. I don't do none of this other stuff. I don't sleep on the couch. I don't do. And the thing is that you teach them how to argue. So here you are screaming at her about something. What do you think she's going to do next time she wants to discuss and argue something? Because you taught her the language was to scream when you have a disagreement.
Exactly.
The language was to be cruel to each other and say the harshest, nastiest things to each other. You know, and then cats turn around and get mad because when they say something really harsh and nasty, right? And then the ego comes out. They pump up the chest, and it creates this situation where a lot of dudes lose the discipline in themselves when it comes to the women, just because of how they feeling emotionally. This venomous thing, emotions they got inside of them now, and how they feel makes them put their hands on women. And because she done said something that really got them, but yet y'all been cutting at each other, saying nasty stuff to each other.
Right.
And you felt like it was cool, and you got back with her, and y'all together now. And that's just how y'all argue. Oh, that's just how we argue. I mean, we say some stuff real cruel to each other.
Nope.
No, that's how you.
And then they call that shit real love. It's real love because we found a way to make it work. Man, please.
Not at all.
No. You influence her to argue. You influenced her to treat you a certain way, and then later on, you want to be upset about it. Later on, you want to puff your chest out about it because you didn't influence her to be calm in a disagreement. You didn't influence her to have a discussion with you. You didn't influence her when she can't actually get it out that it's okay. Just go ahead and sit on it. We could talk about it later. I'm gonna be here to listen. Don't worry about that. Like you didn't influence her in a manner where respect is in the discussion. Respect is between y'all, but then now you're mad. She's just an argumentative mother person.
This is what I will say. This is just my earnest opinion. I think most people who are dating right now in a long-term relationship, long distance or otherwise, engaged to be married or married, a lot of people really aren't compatible. They're really not. And a lot of times they'll get into the relationship because there are aspects of the relationship that benefit them. So they'll get into the relationship. But if you're arguing, you're not compatible. And what it really is, in my opinion, when you argue a lot, you really don't like each other.
Right.
I think that's what it really is. Deep down inside, you might care for that because you can love somebody and not like them. Just like you can like somebody and not love them. But I really think a lot of times you just don't like that motherfucker. Because I know for a fact, some of y'all women, I know y'all been in relationships where you question why you was even with that motherfucker. I know you have. I'm not with this motherfucker.
And they lose respect. Some cats don't realize the look they seen in a woman's eyes was the moment she lost respect. Like you can see it. Like when you're talking and just okay. You know, where the argument is not even worth it anymore with you.
Right.
Like, that respect, it's gone. And I feel like, you know, speaking of what you said, Zach, I must be compatible with a lot of people. You know, it's too bad, man. For cats, it's not compatible.
Yeah, so with me, Ubering, so I just bought a van a couple months ago because you can make a lot more money with it. So yesterday I picked up these passengers. It was like a couple couples, and the guys had got in first, and the wives was coming out, and then the wife came up. She was like, "Why would you get in the back? Come out so I can come sit in the back." And he was like, I was waiting for you. She like, shut up and just come out. Like, just the disrespect of how these guys who let their wives talk to them because they don't respect themselves is just crazy. I'm like, yo, this is wild. Am I witnessing this shit?
Yo. And bro, see, and this is the type of shit I was talking about the other day, and I remember I was saying some shit too, and niggas was either in the comments or in the chat talking about Miles is simping or some shit when I was talking about how I take my woman in and out the car, and even sometimes because I live in an apartment building and the parking deck is a certain level, so I will come out When she arrives, I will come out. I'll put myself in the driver's seat, put her in the passenger seat, and drive the car up. And then I'll drive the car out. Because the people don't know how to drive in a fucking parking deck. They don't know that it's 2 lanes in the parking deck. They be driving right in the middle of shit. And sometimes it's not cool. And even when I'm dealing with Ubers, I put my woman in the car. You understand? And when the Uber stops and we get to our destination, I get out of the Uber. And even if the Uber driver tries to take my woman out the car, she will not get out of the car unless I come around to take her out the car. You understand? So everything that I just explained is me developing certain consistencies in the relationship. So when the Uber pulls up, my woman is waiting for me to put her in the car and tell her where in the car to sit. So she would never even have to question how it's going to go because I'm going to tell her how it's going to go. So she'll never have to think for herself to the point where she's yelling at me and say, oh, well, why you ain't wait for me? And this, that, and the third. And are you dumb? And why didn't you do this? And bro, for me to be the Uber driver hearing that shit, I would just lose it, bro. I'd just be shaking my head the whole time.
Wait. I walked away. Was somebody in the Uber talking shit to their man or something?
No, all right, Jason, tell a story again. Jason, tell a story again.
Yeah. So yesterday I picked up a couple older couples, and the husbands that got in the back of my van. I just bought a van a couple months ago, and they sat in. The wives ended up coming out. One of the wives was like, "Why would you sit in the back? Come on out." She was like, "Well, I was waiting for you to come out." She was like, "No, just shut up and come out so I can get in the back." And it was just wild. Yeah, she told that nigga to shut up.
Yeah.
Boy. See, are men more submissive than women? Yes. I would say the majority of dudes are definitely the submissive one in a relationship.
Facts.
I also want to add this note too, though. Like, there's some times that my woman be like, "Hey, I didn't like the way you said that out loud in public and stuff," right? Because when things is moving for me, I'm that type of person. I think 5 steps ahead, 6 steps ahead. Like, I'm always, okay, if we go this way, we can loop back around that way. We can do this. We can shut over here. I move in a circle. I don't like to waste steps. So tell me what's up. Tell me the plan. And then I can get real direct, and we know as men that when we get direct, it's just, we saying it directly. We're not saying it with any emotions. It's just like, hey, I need you to do this, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes the way they take it.
Right.
The thing is, though, is that I could dismiss that and be like, man, whatever. I was just saying how I said it. Like, do what I said. Because never corrects me right then in the moment. It's just later on. The respect shown for me. It's later on to say, hey, I didn't like the way. And I have to do the same thing. You have to set the example. And I think a lot of cats, they demand without setting the example, but setting the example is showing where the demand should be at, though. That's what cats fail to realize, is that when you set an example for something, and it's not setting an example for her, it's for myself and the discipline and the man that I want to be, I am going to hold you to the standard that I have for myself.
Right.
And so cats in the moment need to realize the work they need to do on themselves, with doing certain things. Like, she don't sit down and we go to a restaurant because she knows I want to sit in a certain seat, and I want to position myself a certain way so I can look. We walk down the street, I'm walking on the outside. There's no need to combat that. There's no need to automatically, do certain things. It's because it's done so consistently that we set the tone for our standards and how we want things to be done. And that's the influence that should be out there. So there's no way that she should have said, talk to him like that in any fashion. So,
that's sad.
But another thing I'll tell you, man, and this is my last thing with this thing, because I don't as you say, you bought a van and you make more money, you might want to think about, I don't know how you are in business and things like that, getting you a like a SUV type vehicle, one of the bigger vehicles, and start your own company for driving, because you seem like to like driving, but the private companies where people can call you car service. That's what I'm trying to say. Thanks, Zach. A car service.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm on.
So that way you take all that money and
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say, man?
Oh yeah, it's the delay. Yeah, I got this van so I can try it out, see if I can make more. Cause like I got a Tesla, I make almost 100K doing Uber here. So I'm like, well, shit, let me go ahead and see what this minivan hitting for. But up here in Cleveland, we don't have like a Uber Black SUV. We either got Uber Black or Uber XL. So I'm actually investing in a few vans here in a few weeks. So I started Transportation LLC a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to start getting some drivers and shit too.
Yeah,
yeah. But
okay. So
one last thing. Oh, sorry, this delay, Chris.
Yeah, no, go ahead, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so just again on this subject too, it just started having me have flashbacks. So a couple years ago, one of my old friends, him and his then girlfriend, now wife, invited me and my girl at the time over for dinner, and she don't respect him at all. So one time we were all talking, and he had said something about sex, and then she was like, "Oh well, I do it for myself better than you can," or some shit like that. And then she started laughing, and she looked at my girl at the time, trying to get like some sisterhood bond type shit. And she was looking at her, she was like, "Oh, I don't have that problem." She just looked at me. She was like, "She said that in front of him to us? This shit is crazy." So yeah, these niggas are submissive as fuck to these bitches.
Well, and what it is, and here's the funny thing, because guys will say, "Oh, all these women are masculine." Okay, here's the problem. Okay, and I said this I think last week. We all come from a man and a woman, so all of us have masculine and feminine energy. The problem with the average guy is his masculine energy is subdued, is watered down, right? And when women encounter a man who is not very dominant or assertive, two things are gonna happen. Either she gonna leave him alone because she prefers a more dominant, assertive, masculine man, or what's gonna happen is her energy is going to overcompensate, right?
Right.
So if he is more feminine than masculine or has a lot of feminine energy, she has to compensate for that because there is no way she can keep her feminine energy because she might as well be dating another girl if that's the case. So what happens is she overcompensates because in her mind, whether it's conscious or subconscious, she needs that assertive, consistent type of energy, a decisive type of energy, order. She needs it, right? So a guy who's not a very masculine, dominant, assertive guy, she isn't getting that, at least not consistently. So she'll overcompensate with her masculine energy and it'll come out because somebody got to lead. Somebody has to make decisions. Yep. So if you're not, she has to. And women can say what they want, but that's not the position they want to be in. Is in their love life or their romantic life is to have to play that role. So a lot of times they'll begin to detest that man, even hate that motherfucker. And it comes out in a way that they behave in public, telling them to shut up, making fun of them because they don't like them. They hate these motherfuckers secretly. Y'all got it.
Yeah, man. But Jay Sean, I give you the last word before I let you go, bro.
All right. Well, no, appreciate y'all. Y'all, man, look, this Saturday was a little slow for me, so it was good to sit back and chill for a little minute and listen to this game.
Yes, sir.
I know you guys be having some callers call in sometimes talking about like working and stuff like that. Listen, y'all listening, go ahead and sign up for Uber. You know what I'm saying? Like I make like 8 to 10K a month doing Uber now. And then if you got another business, it's a great way to network and drive traffic to that business as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I would, that $20 ride go from $20 to a $2,500 video marketing project because I drive around a lot of business owners. So, you know, just putting that out there for the listeners and all that, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Happy Easter if y'all celebrate that. And appreciate y'all. Peace out.
All right, Jay Sean. Hey, man, you already know what it is, bro. You stay safe out there in them streets, brother.
Appreciate it, y'all.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, Jay Sean, shout out to Jay Sean. Jay Sean actually he filmed Donovan Sharp's previous CME seminar. So that's so I know that brother. That's a good brother right there.
Big things.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
You got the video joint.
Yeah, no, and hey, listen, don't be look. A lot of y'all niggas be focused on the wrong thing. You be looking your nose down at a nigga that drive Uber. Nigga, I remember when I used to drive Uber. And then at the time I was doing a lot of photography and videography. I was getting jobs upon jobs fucking with Uber, bro, because it's nothing but networking. Because you end up talking to your passengers, and then it's like, oh yeah, I do photography too. Check out my Instagram, and they be checking out my Instagram. Oh shit, you do good work. My friend got a baby shower, or my girl got my sister got a wedding coming up, and I'm making money while I'm making money. So please do not shit on our Uber drivers, our truck drivers, and certain other people, man, because a lot of people, y'all be focused on the wrong thing. And notice what he said. He got a Tesla, and he make six figures a year doing that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So don't be sleeping on Uber drivers. And shout out to Saint Diaz for the $5 super chat. He said, salute to the panel. This some real ish. I saw a cat get his drink snatched by his woman right in front of me. He proceeded to say nothing. Yo, guys, I'm telling you, as men, we gotta set the stage, set the tone. We got to carry ourselves a certain way, and these women will follow the lead. Maybe we can't save every woman, but the ones that matter will follow the lead. The ones that are actually women will follow the lead. You understand? But it's up to us to set the precedent, and to set the tone.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a position now because a lot of dudes did not say a lot of things that they needed to say in the relationship.
Exactly.
Right. So one of the mistakes I feel like a lot of dudes did is they'll break up with somebody or leave somebody and not really tell them why. Right. Instead of during the relationship saying, hey, this is an issue right here. This is detrimental to our relationship. So that way the woman knows that when he left, it wasn't because he couldn't handle this strong woman. It's the fact that you didn't know how to be quiet. It's the fact that you didn't know how to follow instructions. The fact that there's certain things that you did that he told you, hey, it's not going to be cool for us, that you can work on later on. And I think that's the thing. If you fail to take the role of manhood in any situation, you're making it harder for other people.
But it starts from the beginning. See, a lot of guys don't understand. It starts from the beginning. The moment you say, hi, my name is, and what's yours, from that moment forward, you know what I'm saying? It starts, you know what I'm saying? At least in my opinion, even how you approach a woman can convey a message to that woman. You know what I'm saying? Whether and a lot of times she'll have a perception about you based on how you present yourself in that moment. Now, the perception cannot be accurate, and maybe you might get a second chance to make a first impression, but oftentimes you don't. And oftentimes that perception that the woman has for you initially is the perception that sticks. So this is why we tell you guys, do not be passive. Don't be passive. Don't be indirect. None of that shit. Always come in there with your head held high, your chest out, your shoulders squared, you know what I'm saying? Erect, you know what I'm saying? And just be a man the way we talked about last week, I believe, Miles and Jay Roman. Jay Roman, you wasn't here, but we talked about the difference between commanding respect versus having to demand it.
Exactly.
And oftentimes a lot of guys end up having to demand it on the back end because the woman isn't really showing you any respect because you didn't show yourself to be that type of guy that commands it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So come out the gate being a motherfucking man instead of having to turn yourself into one later. Because what happens with some guys, if they listen into the Real Game No Theory podcast, myself, Macario, Miles, and everybody else, on their channels and other shows, is after the fact, you try and get some help. Shout out to the Masculine Identity Membership.com. Yeah, you might get some help and you might learn some shit, and now you can go reinvent yourself and be that man you should have been. But here's the issue: you got to drop that woman though. And then and literally get a fresh start with a new woman once you actually learned how to be that type of man. Because here's the thing: once a woman has a perception of you, especially if y'all been together for months or years, you cannot introduce her to the new you.
Right.
Because you that old nigga. You will always be that old dude. And this is why I say a lot of times when relationships end, don't recycle that experience, because even if it's been a year or two since the relationship ended, you would always be that dude that she called a bitch. You will always be that dude in her eyes. So no matter how new you are, you might come to her with a whole different mindset. She looking at you like, nigga, you could be that new motherfucker for other people, but I remember who you were, nigga. You the sleep on the couch, nigga. You that nigga I throw shit at, and you like, babe, stop. You that dude. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit. Yeah, man. Look, I already killed the phone lines because it's pretty much that time. But I want to answer this. Batman says, should I go to Easter party of my aunt? She didn't invite me directly. However, I got told about the party via my sister.
Linwood said, "Holy family problems, Batman."
That's a good one, Jay Roman.
Holy disrespect, auntie Batman. Crazy.
I would say this: if there's beef between you and your aunt, and she didn't invite you directly, you may want to consider maybe having a conversation with her before you show up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because this is what family members like to do sometimes. They like to. Well, you see me doing something. Wait. What they'll do sometimes is they'll try to be, the person, the mediator, and they'll try to get everyone back together and try to smooth things over. What the problem is, not everyone is in agreement of smoothing things over. So,
right.
So don't allow someone else to invite you to somebody else's house. Is
Right.
what I'm saying. You might want to holler at your aunt. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah. If it's that crazy, holler at your aunt before you just show up, because I mean, if the family ain't all together like that, then you wouldn't have to ask this. If the family was all together and everything was all good, you wouldn't have to ask this question. So yeah, you might want to holler at it real quick.
Yeah, and I think on that one, if the family is cool and the family is cool, maybe she just forgot. Like, don't take it as no sign of no disrespect or nothing like that. That's if you guys are cool.
But you should know.
But if if there's some drama, then
if you're
why
cool.
go just for the drama? Like,
right.
And if you're being sensitive, just because your aunt didn't ask you, man, get over yourself and go. You know what I'm saying? Because some people are getting real sensitive. Well, I want the person to ask me themselves. No,
Right.
don't be sensitive. So he says, I'm Muslim and having sex in my religion. It's harem. My question is how to seduce and influence women without having. Bro, okay. This is one of those you need to get on a membership. Maybe you need some coaching so we can have a better understanding of how you think and why you think the way that you think, but also the fact that if you are a Muslim, there may be some situations that have you thinking a certain way that maybe interfere with how you move with women because of your beliefs. Well, we need to kind of know the ins and out of that, right? Because there's no way we can answer that in totality or in detail right now.
My thing is this. Sex is too important in a relationship in general, right? What am I saying? Am I saying that sex is all about, that relationship is all about sex? That's not what I'm saying. But me personally, I can't give that type of advice to nobody. You understand? Because in my opinion, if you don't establish sexual compatibility early on, that's when you lead to problems of a sexless marriage and all this other shit, and your woman giving you excuses, talking about I got a headache and I'm not in the mood and all this other shit. Sexual and physical compatibility is a paramount as far as setting consistencies in the vetting process and all that other shit. So if you Muslim and all that, you probably need to go speak to your elders in your church and in your mosque, my nigga. Like, seriously.
Yeah, y'all dry hump or something? Like, what do y'all do? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, like, what degree of not have is there anything y'all do? Like, I don't know. Like, but I agree with Miles, man. Talk to somebody that might be cool. Because I know some of the older ones are very, no matter what.
Yeah.
But, find somebody that's cool you could talk to say, hey, you know what we go through. This is the thing I want. But influence, because you broke it up to seduce and influence. And my thing is influence. Influence that has nothing to do with sex to me. Influence is maintaining who you are and communicating that in a way in which, she understands and can ride with that. Now, the sex part of that, how to do that as far as seduction, I would say get with somebody that's been through it like you've been through with that. But
Well,
I'm starting
I
off
would
with you.
say about influence, because you can influence a woman non-sexually.
Of
Right?
course.
When you talk about emotional bonds and emotional connections. So my thing to Miles' point, for me personally, this is why I don't deal with women who are not sexually attracted to me. And I really don't care to deal with women who try and stall me out for sex and try and make me wait and try and have me. I don't care for that, because my thing is, if you have this need to want to control access to you sexually, that could potentially present problems later on in a relationship, where if you're upset or angry, you're going to do the same thing. Okay, this is why we tell you guys that in the. So anyway, so my point is this: what you allow women to do in the beginning, it sets the precedent for what will become the norm in the relationship later on. Right? So my thing is, this is what you don't want. You do not want your sex life with your woman tied to you doing things for her first.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't want it tied to dates or date night or spending money or taking trips. You don't want the sex tied to any of those things. You want a woman to just be on some I lust you, I'm sexually attracted to you, I love having sex. You want that to be completely separate from all that other shit. Because once sex gets tied to what you can do for her, bro, it's a wrap.
Exactly. Now we go to the next one.
All right, that's it. That's the last question.
Oh, that's it. All right, cool. Well, guys, make sure you get with us tomorrow, 12 noon. Real Game No Theory featuring Mr. 1950, Steve the Dean Williams, Mr. Lucario, K. Zagan, and myself. We still on regularly scheduled programming, even though it's Easter Sunday. So I know a lot of y'all might have to go to church or whatever it is, but we still gonna be rocking. So mess with us. Put the AirPod in one ear while you listening to your sermon on Sunday at noon. You feel me? So still rock with us. J. Roman, I know you got shows on Monday with Mr. 1950.
Oh yeah, on Monday, 1950. I think we got a guest coming on. Zach, you coming on this Monday with us? It's Mac and Monday. We go over a lot of different things. Place you can call and actually get what you want to say to her.
Real quick, I want to announce this. Under my videos going forward, including this one, and also on my website, there's a new link where it's a calendar, right? Where you go in there and you just pick a day. So whether it's a phone consultation or a Zoom consultation, so now you guys can just set that up, where it's easier to just boom. If the time slot is available, plug that shit in. But let me say this to you guys, because I've had this issue as of late. Your spot is not solidified until you make the payment, right? So and let me say this, and let me illustrate my point a little further. So if you hit me up, let's say today at 5 o'clock, and you want to do something at 9, and you don't make the payment until like 8 something, but somebody else hit me up an hour before you, and they've already made the payment, you're getting bumped.
Right.
You're getting bumped, because my thing is, I cannot take time out of my day to set aside time and the payment hasn't been made.
Exactly.
Right? I can't have that happen. And
it just makes sense.
But I tell you guys to value your time with women. Okay, you niggas is gonna value my motherfucking time, right? So I need guys to understand that, right? That it's all about providing service and providing value for each other. So just be mindful of that. That it ain't solidified until that payment is made, and then that's your slot. Then and only then. All right. On that note, got this motherfucker. Like the video, like the stream. There you go. Masculine Identity Natural Luxury Soap. Hey, that shit feel good. I'm telling y'all. Look, you can do a lot of things with that soap.
No diddy. All right.
On that note,
we clean over
tomorrow, 12 Eastern, 11 Central. We out.
Peace.